The women's final day started off with the last two remaining games from Pool C. The first game seeing England taking on Ireland. Both teams came out and created chances, but it was England who opened the scoring. Tess Howard driving into the circle, looked to play the ball to the back post. Unfortunately for the defender trying to intercept, she managed to put it into her own net, giving England the 1-0 lead. Ireland created several chances, including one where the ball unfortunately just bobbled behind a player as she dived to tap it in. They were eventually able to find the equaliser before half time. Mullen, driving through the circle, hit a diving lift
Shot.
over the goalkeeper as she came out to smother to even things up at 1-1. It was England who found the winner though in the second half. After England played a long through ball, the Irish goalkeeper came out of her circle to clear it, but wasn't able to get enough on it to put any distance on the clearance. England recovered the ball and played it back into Darcy Ball, who took the ball onto her reverse and fired through the defender covering on the line to give England the 2-1 win. The second game saw Scotland taking on France. This was a really close game, both sides creating chances early on and could have taken the lead, but it wasn't until the third quarter where someone found the back of the net. The first goal was scored by France, but was disallowed by the umpires after deeming the ball in to have been dangerous. This fired Scotland up, and they went down the other end and scored from a penalty corner. The initial looked to be aiming for a deflection from their runner, but didn't have enough pace on it, and so she instead deflected it to the injector, who was able to sweep the ball into the back of the net to give her side the 1-0 lead. Before the end of the quarter, Scotland doubled their lead, Costello taking a drag foot from the next penalty corner, taking a deflection off the first runner, wrong-footing the goalkeeper and sending it into the bottom corner, giving Scotland the 2-0 lead going into the third quarter break. France continued to pressure in the final quarter, both sides creating chances, but probably the better falling to France, but they were unable to find the back of the net, meaning that Scotland took the game 2-0. The third game was the bronze medal match between Spain and Belgium. Now, this game was a real goalkeeping showcase, both teams creating chances throughout the game, but the goalkeepers were always able to keep the ball out of the net. Belgium probably having the majority of the chances, with Spain being limited to mostly penalty corners, but at the final whistle it was 0-0, taking us into a shootout. And what a shootout it was. Belgium hitting the post, winning two penalty strokes, which were both saved by Perez in the Spanish goal. At the end of the first five, it was 1-1. Going into sudden death, it was Spain who came out the winners, rounding the goalkeeper and sealing it up to take the game and the bronze medal. The last game of the day was the women's final between Germany and the Netherlands. The Netherlands created a lot of chances, but their opening goal was a very scrappy one. A loose ball around the front of the German goal was eventually tapped home by Dicker. It was her touch that proved the strongest, knocking it through the defender and into the back of the goal to give her side a 1-0 lead. Netherlands added a second before half-time. A hit from the edge of the D took a notable deflection from Fokker, wrong-footing the goalkeeper, sending it into the back of the net to give Netherlands a 2-0 lead at the half-time break. Germany have a never-say-die attitude and came out in the third quarter and threw everything they had at the Dutch defence, eventually finding a breaking point from a penalty corner, struck at goal, finding a deflection, past the goalkeeper to find their way back into the game, 2-1 behind, but with time on the clock to chase that lead down. Netherlands still created some chances, but the German defence absorbed it well, throwing everything they could into attack. They even pulled their goalkeeper to fashion more chances to get back into the game. The Dutch defence were able to hold on and keep the ball out of the back of the net right up until the final whistle, taking the game 2-1 and winning the gold medal in the Euro 25.